Hey guys, welcome to the first lecture. Let's jump in. So when you're leading a team and you've got goals you want to reach, you have to rely on everyone to do their job. In a perfect world, every team member will work efficiently to complete as much work as they can. They'll work individually and they'll collaborate and they'll achieve the goals you're trying to reach, all without needing any sort of poking and prodding from their leader. You tell them what to do and they do it. But that is, of course, in a perfect world. In the real world, people and their ability to do great work are affected by all kinds of things around them. It could be other people, current events, or some important news. People are also affected by personal feelings, many times related to things that are going on at work. Could be pressure because they were late today, anxiety because they're hoping for an end-of-year bonus, or anger because they feel like their voice isn't being heard on their team. As a leader, you can't account for all the things that are going on in the outside world today. But what you can do, and what you're expected to do, is provide for each employee's basic needs at work. What sort of needs? Well, these should probably ring a bell. Workers need clear goals so they know what they should be working on every single day. They should be able to openly and honestly communicate with colleagues and with you without any fear. They need clear opportunities to do their work without any micromanaging. They should expect to be treated with respect and empathy. They need transparency so that the reasons why teams or leaders make certain choices aren't unclear or kept hidden. They need professional development so that they don't feel like they'll be stuck in the same job forever, and they need to be compensated fairly for their talents. So boil all of that down, and what workers really need is a positive work environment that promotes their professional well-being as much as the company's. I believe that when you can ensure those needs are being met, then you'll put yourself in a great position as a leader to motivate your team. If you don't provide those basic needs, you're going to have a hard time pushing people to do more than they already are. Now, there are certainly people who are better at self-motivation than others. Regardless of what drama or challenges that they're facing, there's always some people you'll meet who seem to wake up every day and head to work determined to do something great. It's like they wake up and get out of bed like they're getting off the bench at a basketball game. It's kind of incredible. But not everyone is like that. Maybe you're not like that, and that's perfectly fine. So the question is, how do you prop up, push forward, and inspire great work from your people? How do you motivate your team? Well, one painfully obvious thing I need to point out here is that teams are made up of multiple people. I mention this because each person responds in motivational techniques in a different way. You could try to make an impassioned speech to your team and inspire them to sell more stuff this quarter, but maybe half your team really isn't interested in hearing inspirational ideas right now. Maybe they prefer the harsh truth. This is why when you're leading a team, you have to understand each teammate's motivation. Since everyone's unique, there are a few ways to go about discovering what each person values and appreciates. The first thing you can do is just ask. Make it a point to meet with each person one-on-one and ask about their professional and personal values. As a leader, you want to ensure their professional values match up with yours, especially when it comes to how work should get done, how to communicate with people, and other work-related decisions. But you should also try to discover what each person is personally driven by. Are they passionate about helping customers, about doing new and creative things, or are they here to collect a paycheck? You'd certainly ask a job candidate why they're interested in the job, but there's no reason not to ask existing teammates the same thing, like, what do you enjoy doing most each day? Or if you could do anything, what do you wish you could do in this position? Those questions may produce some insightful answers to help you figure out their motivation. Another thing you can do is use some deductive reasoning. Based on people's behavior, you could make pretty good guesses about what they value at work. For example, if a teammate has come to you in the past to praise colleagues without any sort of prompting, it probably means they value recognition and fairness. They want the right people to get credit when it's due. But if another teammate has a lot of creative hobbies like writing or even making music, it's possible they'd be interested in and helpful with creative brainstorming sessions that you need to conduct. So be observant and make some mental notes about your teammates' behavior. And lastly, learn from experience. Think about any motivational tactics you've tried already. When you wanted or needed your team to respond in a certain way, what exactly did you do? How did they respond? Obviously, the easiest strategy is to keep doing the things that work and stop doing things that don't work. But if you ask your teammates about what's important to them and observe their behavior, you might be able to, after some of your past motivational attempts with this new intel in mind. So by figuring out what motivates your teams, you'll be much better prepared when you try to actually influence them to achieve their goals. So in the lectures to come, we'll talk about many more ways leaders can motivate their teams, including unique situations that apply to creative teams, as well as things like virtual and remote ones. See you then.